Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the Just Kidding channel. So I'm trying to put out consistent content to encourage you guys to stay inside the house. So I hope it's working. Alright, so what I'm gonna be doing, if you can't tell from the title of this video, is I'm gonna be cleaning the 0.5 engine bay. Right, so I had this whole elaborate plan to get some degreaser, really see if I can remove all the gunk that's on this motor. As you can see right down there, super oily. It's everywhere. So, and then also I'm going to be removing the intake manifold and painting it, because the one on my car came out so much nicer than anticipated. If you didn't see that video, it was last week's video. I'll put a card in so you can check it out. It came out super nice, but I really want to see if I can get this engine bay cleaned up. Also, what I really wanted to do is, if it cleans up really well, I was going to see if I can sand it down and use some rattle can to like brighten up the paint. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. I'm fine with it either way. It'll definitely make the bay look a lot nicer if it's cleaner, but adding the additional rattle can paint job would just make it look even better. Not really gonna go too hard, but yeah, whatever. So let me try and see if I can get something to hold this hood up, and then we can get started. Right, so I'm just gonna hit it with this degreaser. I know I said the other one worked, but I already started using this and I don't want it to go to waste, because I did buy it. Alright, power's off. Let's see what this does. Okay, well, that did a decent amount for the first go around. So you can tell just by right here, that was pitch black last time. Couldn't even see the water neck. I'm gonna have to do it again. Gonna have to go over it with a little degreaser, but first I'm gonna use this soapy water, scrub everything down, and then do it again. Use the original degreaser too. You can see the rainbow from all the oil. Right, so it is soaped up. I did put more in this area here because it is oily. Like, this is one oily boy. Also down there on, let's see if it'll focus, on this subframe right here, because that John is oily, as well as the upper oil pan. Crazy oily. This car is surprised it Look, it had any oil in it. So damn oily. And just like that, this bay is so much cleaner. Shroud looks perfect. Wheel wells looks so much cleaner. So what I'm going to do next is I still have some more wrinkle black paint. I'm going to remove the intake manifold, get that wrinkle black, and the bay will be completely different after that. Intake manifold is out. Yo, this thing is filthy. Now I'm thinking I should have spent the extra money in order to get the Pexi IAT sensor, because underneath the intake manifold there are 3 MPT ports that I could have just threaded right in instead of getting the GM one. So I'm really thinking whether or not if I should return the GM one and then spend $100 in order to get the other one. Something I really gotta think about, but this needs to be cleaned desperately because, as you can see, it is disgusting. Disgusting. As for, I sprayed it with a little bit more engine degreaser because I thought it was clean, but underneath the intake manifold, it's crazy oily. So hopefully the degreaser does it some justice. Yeah, it was so dirty. Right, so I got everything that I'm going to be painting off. Did the best that I could with whatever degreaser I had left, trying to clean up the area. I didn't have the real heavy duty one, so it didn't come out as clean as I'd hoped. But I'm gonna be using the wire brush or wire wheel or whatever, and I'm gonna be cleaning the intake manifold, the throttle body. I want to do the fuel rail, and I also want to do the IAC because both of them look like trash. Here's the IAC. Looks like garbage. Fuel rail is sitting over there looking like trash as well. But I definitely need to make a video on the trashiest parts of the S chassis, because they put Phillips screws for the caps for the injectors. So I loosened some of them, but some of them are like stripped, like 100%. There's no way. I didn't even want to push it harder in order to get it out. But I'm gonna just try to see if I can Y wheel it, tape over the injector, and then tape over the ends for where the fuel hoses go, and then paint it. This I just want to clean. I don't really want to paint it because it's underneath the motor. Honestly, I'm probably not going to do anything because it's underneath the motor. I mean, underneath the intake manifold. Intake manifold desperately needs to be cleaned. Throttle body might be difficult. I just want to make sure everything looks good before I put it back, because I know it works. Also, while I have the intake manifold out, the fuel rail out, I'm going to put the 30R9 fuel hoses in. So when we hit the track, there are no issues when it comes to that. So, and also I could put the inline fuel sensor. So when it's time for this car to get tuned, that's one thing that I don't have to do. Also, I can look for another area for me to put the sensor for the oil pressure, because the ECU needs oil pressure as well. So yeah, still disappointed about that IAT sensor. when it's time for paint, just like the other intake manifold, it's going to be hanging like this. I do need to find that razor blade that I had, give it a once over for every part that I taped, and we should be in business. Right, so I didn't get to clean the other parts, so I'll just spray a couple coats on this and then be done for the day. Right, well, that was a dub. Nothing's coming out of this can right now. So when I spray it, not even any air is coming from that nozzle. So, oh wait, what the? I don't understand what's going on. But I'm gonna call it a dub until I get another can, and then I can get the paint in that. Probably by that time, I'll have the throttle body clean as well as the fuel rail, and then we'll be good. All right, guys. Today is a new day. 0.5 is cleaner than it was yesterday. I bought more degreaser, try to clean it up even more. Useless. So in order to get that bay, or at least the motor, really clean, everything has to be taken apart. I have to spray with the heavy duty degreaser, and I would have to use a wire brush to like really get into it. So since that's like that, I'm going to just focus on the intake manifold. All right, so let's get started where we left off yesterday. Right, intake manifold is drying. Like you can see the wrinkles. Some spots do look wet even though I hit it with the heat gun. I don't know what that's about. Maybe I have to hit it for longer, because I don't know. It does look nice though. Once everything is removed, things are peeled off, it'll look even better, because then you can see the contrast. Alright, so this is the throttle body. As you can tell, has that good old wrinkle finish. Looking good. Fuel rail damn near came out perfect. Look at that. It's crazy. Can't wait to get this on the car, see what it looks like. Alright, it is time for the parts to go on the engine. The throttle body came out nice as well. And the fuel rail is over here. So let's get this on the engine. Alright, so like I told you guys before, before I put everything back together, I have to put the 3R9 fuel hose in here. So at Club Loose, this is the only fuel hose that they accept, as well as these type of hose clamps. You have to have these type of hose clamps in order for you to be driving on the track. So I only have a couple of them. I would have to run to AutoZone and get more in order to complete this whole thing. But I'm just gonna start it, route the lines, maybe see if I could pick a different area for the fuel pressure regulator, because it's sitting on that angle, because if you put it upwards, the hood won't close. So gotta figure that out, and then we'll be set. Alright, so I was not paying attention, and I just realized this fuel hose is the right fuel hose. Where did it say? It says it right here. R9. Well, I guess I don't have to replace the fuel hose, and I bought fuel hose for no reason. But anyways, I'm trying to tidy it up, trying to mount it in a good spot, because where it was before was pretty trash, and it no longer has windshield washer fluid. So I'm gonna use this for the vacuum hose for the fuel pressure regulator, and we'll continue from there. Alright, so I was just trying to tidy up the bay a little bit. I have to put the inline T for the fuel pressure sensor, but I got the fuel filter mounted pretty nicely. This is the OEM S13 bracket. As you guys know, the Z32 filter is bigger, so it wasn't fitting without coming out. So I just drilled a hole, put a zip tie. Now it's holding pretty sturdy. Fuel pressure regulator I mounted with self tappers right there, so when the intake manifold is on, you'll be able to see it, as well as when the hood closed, it doesn't touch. So it's working out. I'm gonna continue because it is starting to drizzle. I do want to mount the T in like a nice spot, but we'll see what happens. Unfortunately, I was not able to beat the rain, but this is what it looks like right now. It looks pretty fire, I'm not gonna lie to you. But let me just pack this stuff up, and on the next dry day I'll pick it up. Right, so the rain paused for a second, so I'm gonna show you guys how it came out. What I did is I actually came back out here and I tried to put everything back together. I'm still missing that T. I don't know where it is. I checked all three cars, still can't find it. So I'm just checking inside next, but this is how it came out. Honestly, the wrinkle black on the intake manifold just does a lot. So much. The bay looks so much nicer. I'm gonna, once it dries, it'll look even better. But I mean, it will show the fade, like the faded paint and stuff like that, but the intake manifold alone, when I showed you guys what the motor looked like before, that was all gunked up. Majority of it is gone now. I do have to finish what I was doing, what I started, and then this would be complete. I'll start it up and then bleed out the system. Gotta get rid of this clear coolant overflows hose though, because that looks horrible. So if you guys want, you can follow me on my social media. It's kid_Shaolin. As I told you guys before, I'm doing acting and stuff, so I started to do like some comedy videos on TikTok if you want to find me on that too. But yeah, this car is coming out pretty decent. I'm gonna try and see if I can get a bash bar soon, because it really needs one. That's one thing I do not want to drive on the road without, because if something happens, like even if it's not my fault, which I know damn well it's not gonna be my fault, it could potentially damage the car a lot. So with the bash bar on it, it'll be closer to getting done. I do two videos that I want to make is a list of things that I want to get for this car in order for it to be done, like track ready, and then also, how I was mentioning before, a list of things that are completely trash with the 240SX. Make you think about whether or not if you want to own one, or if you do own one, you will know that these things are pretty trash. So again, please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and stay tuned for more.